Tyler Allred. Welcome to Inspired by Pinterest, where I browse around Pinterest looking for amazing crafty ideas from people from all over the world and bring them to life each week on an episode here on my craft channel. Today we are talking about shaving cream crafts. Now mainly because I bought a whole bunch of shaving cream for my last episode when I talked about marbling techniques. You remember that really awesome one where we marbled paper using shaving cream? Well, I figured let's go look up some other ideas that I can use up this awesome shaving cream. I know it was only $1, but heck, let's use it up. So I found some really fun ones that I've actually pinned and put in my pin board, kids crafts, since most of them kind of fell into the kids category, even though secretly I really was the one that wanted to make these. So as always, you can go to my blog, allreddesign.net, where I reference any of the pins or any products. And so the first one we're going to start with is really fun. It's bathtub finger paints, and this is from therealisticmama.com. I thought how much fun. They have these fun brushes and they put it in a muffin tin so their kids can paint all over the walls. And they're going to smell great. They're going to smell like aftershave probably. The next one I loved was from One Little Project, and she did shaving cream rain clouds. And I just thought it was so cool in the glass as the food coloring goes into it. It really does look like the clouds are raining color. So cool. Another one from growingajeweledrose.com. She did snow paint plus snow clay and snow sand. Like, she has snow everything that you can make with shaving cream. And I love that one of them you can even add vinegar to it, since it's made with shaving cream and probably baking soda, and it makes erupting snow. I already made a huge mess with the ones that I picked. So the next two are the two that I've actually recreated for you. They're from a really fun blog called onelittleproject.com, and she is the master of shaving cream projects. So the first one is how to make clay out of shaving cream, and then the other pin I want to show you is how to make puff paints. So, and those links will be directly on my blog as well. But let me just show you some basics that I learned from making it. Number one, it's super messy. So put it out tablecloth or whatnot. I got it all over the floor. The clay was my favorite. You want to mix baking or cornstarch, the same amount of cornstarch with the same amount of shaving cream, and then you kind of add a little bit of this or that depending on the texture. The awesome thing about this clay is it's really soft. Like, I've never played with a clay this soft. It's almost like, my daughter says it reminds her of that magic sand you see at the craft stores. In fact, we didn't mix in enough shaving cream in with this, and it actually does have that texture of that magic sand. It's really cool. So you can just play with it and kind of create your own if you want the magic sand. Don't add more shaving cream. If you want it to hold together, add more shaving cream. And I will tell you, I learned a really valuable tip, and this is because my beautiful daughter is smarter than me. I added the food coloring after mixing the two together, and I turned my hands purple and blue and everything. She's like, why don't you mix in the food coloring into the shaving cream and then add the cornstarch, which we did with this, and look how pretty the colors are, and then this one's a little more inconsistent. So it's nice that she's going to college and I'm getting something out of it. So this was super fun to make the clay. This was probably the messiest part. I tried to keep it in a bowl. It just kept going everywhere. So just stick probably, you know, what would be cool is a baking sheet. Put it all on there and let your kids mix it up. Super fun, but I have to tell you the puff paints were my favorite. Super easy to do. So I created this really awesome, Lori. Isn't that cool with these puff paints? So you want to mix like Elmer's glue, the same amount of Elmer's glue. So I used a tablespoon to create each color. A tablespoon of this with a tablespoon of that. Now a tablespoon of shaving cream kind of overflows over the tablespoon. Don't stress about it. Just a nice heaping tablespoon of that along with this. Add your color, mix it up, and then I just added them to an inexpensive baggie that, you know, the kind that don't ziplock, and then cut off the tips. Super easy, fun to do. I wasn't sure how well these would hold up. I made them yesterday and then I have to travel to the studio, so let's see if they still work. So I just loved how much fun these were, and depending on, of course, the size of the hole, they do take a while to dry, so leave them out for a while. And I thought I'd be clever and do some flowers that I could peel off with some parchment, but I'll tell you, the shaving cream is not conducive to that. So don't think this is it by any means you're going to create your own little like epoxy dots and stuff. It ain't gonna happen. So this is really just for fun for your kids to do. This one I let dry overnight, and I love how it looks, but of course if I push down on it, it loses all its air, a little bit of it. and it's not super durable, but it does look really cool sitting on a shelf with that 3D look. So super fun to do. So hopefully, you know, I've sparked some ideas. If you know you have kids still young enough that want to do this, or you want to do it with, say, your grandkids, this is super fun, inexpensive. I think the shaving cream was $1 each. Cornstarch cost me about $1. Elmer's glue is probably the most you're going to spend on money. And I used both the gel food coloring as well as the water-based food coloring, and they all worked great. So hopefully I've inspired you to try looking at some things you have around your house and create some really fun crafts for you and your kids. So thanks for joining me. We'll see you next week here on my craft channel.